lay there staring at the ceiling, my body still humming electric, but the ache inside me refused to die. Ethan lay beside me, his breath slowing, body slack with satisfaction, thinking he'd given me what I needed. He was wrong. I turned to him, fingers trailing down his chest, feeling the tension still coiled beneath his skin. His lazy, smug grin flickered. I leaned in, lips brushing his ear, voice low, dangerous. "You should text your friends." His body tensed for half a second, then amusement flashed in his eyes. A low chuckle escaped him as he grabbed his phone. Tap, tap, sent. Now all I had to do was wait. If you're hooked, hit like, subscribe. It keeps these stories alive. Let's dive in. The ice in my glass had melted, but the low hum of conversation in the Chicago bar felt distant, meaningless. My body was here, but my mind was still tangled in last night, reeling, hungry. I hadn't meant to find it, searching for something to push me over the edge, something raw, real. The usual slow, choreographed scenes left me restless, fingers hovering over the screen, unsatisfied. I was about to give up when I saw her, a woman surrounded by 5 men, hands gripping mouths, claiming bodies, pressing into her from every angle. No hesitation, no restraint, just pure, uncontrolled pleasure. A sharp jolt of heat tore through me. I clicked before I could think. The moment the video started, I was gone. She trembled beneath them, gasping, breaking as they moved her, owned her, relentless, filling her completely again and again, until she shook, consumed, barely breathing. I'd never seen anything like it. I'd never felt anything like it. The pleasure ripped through me, fierce, overwhelming my body, trembling breath, catching mind blank as waves crashed over me. Yet it wasn't enough. Hours later, my thighs pressed together under the bar counter, the ache still roaring under my skin. The video ended, but the feeling didn't. I wanted to know. I wanted to feel what she felt. I exhaled, fingers tightening around my glass, pulse unsteady. Then I saw them. They hadn't noticed me yet, but I saw them, 4 men, relaxed, confident, drinks in hand, conversation flowing easy. One leaned back, tattoos snaking from his sleeve. Another smiled, always in control, dark eyes scanning the room with quiet amusement. I wasn't trying to eavesdrop, but their words drifted over. Most women say they want something wild. One mused voice, low, deliberate, but when it's real, they hesitate. Can't blame them, another said. Most don't even know what they really want. That's why they need to be shown. A chuckle, the clink of glasses, heat coiling deep in my belly. My fingers gripped my drink harder. They weren't talking about me, but it felt like they were. I raised my glass, sipped slow, letting my movement speak for me. One noticed Ethan, the one with tattoos. His eyes flicked to me, lingered, his mouth curving into something dangerous. I didn't look away. He stood stretching with a calm, unhurried Grace drink in hand, crossing the short distance to the bar. Up close, he was sharper, strong jaw, dark eyes brimming with amusement, confidence dripping from every inch. He sipped his drink, turned to me, voice smooth, probing. "You were listening." I traced a finger along my glass's rim, tilting my head bold. Hard not to. His smirk widened. "And you agree with what you heard?" I met his gaze, unflinching. "Maybe." His eyes darkened, amusement still there, but something else settled beneath a challenge. He set his glass down, turned fully to me, fingers tapping the bar lightly. "I live upstairs," I said, simple, direct. Ethan let out a low laugh, shaking his head, impressed. "You don't waste time. Neither do you." That was all he needed. He downed his drink, set the glass down with purpose, nodded toward the door. "Lead the way." I didn't hesitate. The elevator ride was thick with unspoken tension. Ethan's warmth radiating even from a distance, his movements relaxed but deliberate. Neither of us spoke, no need. At my apartment, my hand was steady, but my pulse wasn't. I pushed the door open, but before I could turn, he was there, hand pressing the door shut, trapping me between his body and the wood. His breath grazed my neck, hot teasing, and when I turned, his mouth claimed mine deep, demanding no hesitation. My fingers found his shirt, gripping the fabric, pulling him closer as my back hit the wall. I'd started this, and now I let it happen. His hand slid to my waist, strong, unhurried, mapping my body with confidence, igniting something restless raw beneath my skin. He lifted me effortlessly, and I let him, legs wrapping around his waist as he carried me to the bed. My back hit the mattress, breath catching as he leaned over me, his weight pressing me into the sheets. His hands were sure, tracing my thighs, pushing fabric aside his mouth, leaving a slow, burning trail down my neck across my collarbone. Every move was precise, deliberate, knowing exactly how to make my body respond. I let him. It was fast, hungry, his hands gripping body, moving with practiced ease, the tension building relentless, pushing me higher, tighter. When I surrendered, pleasure crashed through me, sharp, fierce, like a storm breaking loose. My breath broke, fingers digging into his shoulders, back arching as my body shook beneath him. It was good, damn good, but as the high faded, as I caught my breath, the ache was still there. Lying there, his skin warm against mine, pulse slowing, I stared at the ceiling, body spent, but hunger burning. Ethan's hand trailed down my thigh, lazy, satisfied. He turned, smirking softly. "That scratch your itch?" I met his eyes, lips parting, pulse still unsteady. We both knew the answer. Not even close. The room was warm, thick, with the scent of sweat and skin. Ethan lay beside me, breath even, body relaxed, thinking he'd won. But I wasn't done. The ache roared, unyielding, demanding more. I turned to him, fingers grazing his chest, watching his muscles tense under my touch. His lips curved into that smug grin, eyes half lit with amusement. "You're not satisfied," he teased. I leaned in, lips brushing his ear, voice low. "Text your friends." His grin froze for half a second, then delight flashed in his eyes, a spark of recognition. "You're serious," he whispered. I held his stare. "Do I look like I'm joking?" He chuckled, shaking his head, reaching for his phone. A few taps, a message sent. He set it down, turned back his smirk, sharper hand tracing my arm slowly. "You don't know what you just asked for." I stretched beside him, exhaling slow anticipation curling deep in my gut. Now I just had to wait. A knock jolted my body like a spark to dry tinder. I moved before I could think, skin still hot, Ethan's breath still uneven. It wasn't enough. I opened the door and they walked in, 3 men filling my space like they owned it. The air thickened, heavy, electric. They didn't hesitate, didn't question. They knew why they were here, and so did I. Ethan stood to the side, arms crossed, smirking like he'd been waiting for this. A hand found me large, sure, gripping my waist, pulling me close, his body's heat pressing into my back, locking me in place. His hands weren't gentle, they knew how to hold, how to claim. His breath teased my neck, slow, deliberate fingers gliding across my stomach, testing how far they could push. I barely had time to register him before another hand appeared. Dark, hungry eyes drinking me in amusement, flickering behind them. His fingers lifted my chin, his mouth finding mine, the kiss deep, unyielding, purposeful. Heat surged, exploding under my skin. A third hand grazed my arm, fingers trailing to my wrist. then lower, pressing the sensitive skin of my thigh, teasing, daring me to break. I was surrounded, pushed, pulled, guided. Each had a role. One controlled my breath, stealing gasps with lips that teased mine. One anchored me, body pressed to ensure I had nowhere to go. One tested my reactions, fingers learning every shiver, every tense spot. They moved together, seamless. No hesitation, no room for thought, only feeling. The man behind me turned me, my back now against the chest of the one who'd kissed me. I barely adjusted before the first claimed my lips again, demanding relentless. I melted into it, no control, no desire for it. A grip slid along my thigh, lifting one leg, then the other, positioning me exactly where they wanted. The one beneath me settled between my legs, hands gripping my hips, guiding my movements with strong, steady control. I gasped, head falling back, body arching instinctively. A low chuckle sounded by my ear. That's it. The pressure built faster, deeper, hands never stopping, adjusting me, holding me where they wanted. My wrists were pinned briefly, then released, hips, tilted, sensations shifting, each touch stoking the fire raging through me. I let go, surrendered, broke. It wasn't soft, wasn't gentle, it was fierce, consuming. A raw, trembling gasp tore from me, unrecognizable, desperate. They didn't stop, and I didn't want them to. My body arched, held completely, surrendered, mind blank as waves tore through me again and again. I was sinking, spinning, drowning in it, too much, yet not enough. I'd never fallen so hard, so deep. Time blurred, seconds, minutes, a lifetime. When I collapsed against them, trembling, spent, Ethan's voice cut through, dripping with amusement. That what you were looking for, I found my breath, but not my strength. My skin still burned, pulse erratic. A slow, exhausted smile curved my lips. Yeah, I whispered, that's it. For the first time, the ache was gone. I was whole, satisfied, complete. The room was warm, heavy with the scent of skin and sweat. My body felt weightless, breath slow, the hunger finally quiet. My fingers traced my own skin, still tingling, still sensitive. I'd found exactly what I needed. Ethan grinned beside me, voice low. What now? I exhaled, a satisfied smile stretching across my lips. Guess we'll see. For the first time, I wasn't searching. If you were me, would you dive in or play it safe? Drop your thoughts in the comments I'm reading. Like, subscribe, hit the bell so you never miss a story. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's next. See you soon.